Officer shot and killed. A deadly fire in the Bronx that claimed the lives of 17 people and a woman killed when she was pushed in the front of a train in Times Square. That was only the first 30 days of Mayor Eric Adams' term. Mayor Adams sat down with me up for Picks on Politics to mark his first 100 days in office and discuss where he really wants to go from here when it comes to public safety.
We must analyze the manpower of the police department. Too many police officers are doing civilian jobs. We didn't hire them for that. I need them back in the street. They need to do the job that New York has hired them for. Let civilians do civilian jobs. But my guys that are having the gun, the shield, the vest, they need to be out protecting the people of the city.
So last week, NYPD Commissioner Keechant Sewell announced the latest crime figures, which shows a 36% increase in major crimes and a 16% rise in shootings over the last 12 months. So this morning, we want to take a closer look at how Mayor Adams has been handling his first 100 days when it comes to crime. Joining us this morning is retired NYPD Detective Marq Claxton, who currently serves as the director of the Black Law Enforcement Alliance. Good morning, Mark. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Good morning. Good morning. My pleasure.
Good morning.
Yeah, so let's get right to it. Public safety, clearly a top priority for Mayor Adams. Since his first day on the job, when he called in an assault while riding the subway, that was something. And following the Black Lives Matter protests, there were calls to defund the police. But Mayor Adams, he's doing just the opposite. He's brought back the controversial plainclothes anti-crime units. I mean, it's under a new name, neighborhood safety teams. But, you know, critics are saying the name is different, but the tactics basically are the same. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know, I think it's a mistake to compare the current initiatives recommended by the police commissioner and the mayor with some antiquated 1990s strategies. There are very few similarities, in fact, with what was called broken windows policing in the 90s, it was much more of a how-to police manual as opposed to what's currently being promoted by the mayor in his blueprint. So I think in addition to that, the neighborhood safety teams are not a reconstruction of the old freewheeling, whole net casting street crime unit. You have stricter vetting, increased supervisor ratio, you have mandatory body camera operation, you know, clearer mission, clear focus on staying within the bounds of law and the Constitution. So I think the first thing, what makes a challenge to judge the man his first 100 days is threefold. We're only 4 minutes into the first quarter of his term. The initiatives are one-offs, and there's no reliable metric to show short-term efficacy. And the best plans have to address, as the mayor's indicated, both the reality and the perception of crime.
Yeah, and perception is reality, right? I mean, that's a lot of things that are going on at this time. And you know, I spoke to the mayor just a couple days ago about this, talking about an increase in crime that we always see during the summer and trying to get ahead of it as well. And part of the problem are these ghost guns. They're flooding the streets of New York, right? Believed a ghost gun was used in Friday's deadly shooting in the Bronx. So is, in your opinion, the mayor doing enough to address the ghost gun in particular issue, let alone gun issues overall?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's outside the box thinking, and he is promoting and proposing and operationalizing some programs that have been long talked about and discussed, or maybe on paper. And you can't compare the initiatives to the old strategies, as I indicated before. These programs show a movement more towards policing than more towards public safety model than policing, because he is incorporating in these programs, including the anti-gun initiatives, a coordinated response between agencies and disciplines. You know, when you embed in your interactions in New York City, social workers, health professionals, police officers, community crisis management teams, which have been really stepped up in as far as priorities are concerned in this administration, you are really acknowledging the many feeders of criminal behavior and conduct, and you really show a clear commitment to improving the life of the entire community in New York. So these initiatives are very innovative, they're very progressive, they're very ambitious, and I think it's too early for us to see the real benefit of them.
Yeah, well, part of the mayor's blueprint that you were just speaking of was talking about bail reform. It didn't get very far in Albany. So how do you feel like this is going to affect getting out and laying out this public safety plan?
I think the conversation around bail reform is one that needed to be had, and I think, just judged on recent reporting, that there is some openness to some movement and changes in the bail, in how bail is allocated in the state, and I think that's significant and substantive. I think it's also very substantive, and perhaps even more so when the mayor deals with issues that deal with the economy and job opportunities for our young people. I think it's also substantive and meaningful when you have programs and initiatives that incorporate, federal authorities and resources and state authorities and resources. So it's hard to pick out one aspect of the plans that will be more substantive than another. But I can say, generally speaking, as a whole, it's a very ambitious plan.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing what the outcome will be.
Bail reform, guns, pretty much crime overall minus homicides is on the rise here. The mayor knows that New Yorkers' patience runs thin. But what is, I guess, a marker of when it would be working? How long do you expect some of these programs to work before they actually kick in and see results?
You really can't give a clear time frame. What you have to begin to do is to promote and market the fact that you are engaged in shifting the dynamic of crime fighting in the city. And that really is an attempt to shift the focus of people's sense of increased crime.
Yeah.
And you have to really point out that we have to be careful about using some of the available data, because it may be incomplete, and the data itself does not tell a complete story about the nature of crime, the frequency of crime in the city. I think we've become too involved and too committed, and base our strategy strictly on the numbers, as opposed to what we see every day, which is the human impact of crime.
Yeah, well, Mark, I'm sorry, we've clearly run out of time, but just quickly, could you give us a grade then that you would give for the mayor in his first 100 days?
It's an incomplete grade at this point,
Okay,
because there's no way to really to gauge the breadth and the width of this program and planning in this short period of time. It's an incomplete grade, but it's on the positive side.
All right, Marq Claxton, thanks so much for joining us this morning.